Welcome to the next section. During this section, we're going to talk about how to streamline your efforts and become more efficient as you're working with large sets of data within Excel. We've talked about all sorts of tools that we have inside of Excel as we work with lists, things like sorting, filtering, pivot tables, calculations, and so on. Now, I want to introduce you to some features that are going to make your life easier, even easier, as you work with these other tools that we've already discussed. So the first one, this is called freeze panes. Now we've actually seen this, but very indirectly. It just kind of happened as a result of another feature. And I didn't really talk about it. But now I want to show off this freeze panes feature and how it's going to help you maintain larger lists. So take a look. Open in front of you, I've got our example file, Excel 102 exercises, and I'm currently on the employee records worksheet. Now, we've got our list here. It's got some column headers up at the top. We talked about how important those column headers are because they help you and your coworkers access this list, right? They identify what goes into the list. But here's the problem. The column headers show up at the top of the list, which means if I scroll down to get to the bottom of the list or to get to a specific record, I lose those column headers. They go right off the top of the screen. Oops. Now, what do? Well, I'm down here entering a record, right? And I get to column D and it's like, wait a minute. What column is that? What should I be putting in here? Now I got to scroll back to the top. Oh, it's department. I got to scroll back down. Start entering my data. I get to here and it's like, oh, what's these numbers? I got to scroll back to the top. Oh, it's phone extension, right? A lot of this back and forth, right? Trying to determine what should I be putting in these columns. Well, to fix this problem, we're going to freeze the column headers in place. That way, as you scroll up and down, they stay put. Take a look. This is super easy. So all I'm going to do is click into column A, row 2. So I'm inside of cell A2. And the reason why I click there is now when I go to freeze the panes, it'll freeze everything up above the current cell I have selected. So I'm in A2, my headers are right above it. I'm now going to go up to my View tab, top of my screen, View. Inside of View, I have a section called Window. And inside of Window, I'm going to go to Freeze Panes. And I'm going to freeze the panes. So now, if I scroll up and down, those headers stay put. Look at that. Row 1 is always there, frozen in spot. Very nice, right? I don't have to put my finger on the screen anymore and scroll up and down and try to remember what column I'm in. They're always there no matter how much I scroll up and down. Freeze the panes. I've now freezed or frozen the first row, the headers at the top of my screen. And really simple. Click into A2, go up to View, freeze panes, freeze the panes. If you decide you're tired of it, you don't need it anymore, you can always reverse it. You can unfreeze the panes as well. Okay, so try this out. Jump into the exercise file, go to employee records, and freeze the headers so that when you scroll up and down, they're always there.